Gang, today we're doing a single take video where I'm going to be, sounds right, where I'm going to be explaining everything that I'm seeing as I'm seeing it in real time. Because when I did a workshop with Matt Stewart a couple of years ago, by far the best thing that I got from that was watching him work, seeing the things that he picked up on, why he liked them, what he thought was going to develop. And honestly, it changed the way that I saw photography. And when I hang out with my friends, such as Mike Chudley, we do the exact same thing. He points something out, I point something out, and we're both like learning from each other. And so this is likely to be a slower paced, longer video, but I promise you, there's going to be so much gold in this, and I am so excited because this is a format that I think is going to deliver the most value that it possibly can, right? So on that note, let's go enjoy. Look at that sunshine. Right, okay, we're gonna go to the Millennium Bridge, get shooting there, figure it out. Let's go. Okay, so to kick things off, look at how beautiful this is. I love mornings like this, where there's just like a tiny bit of haze in the air. There's this beautiful light that's so directional. Like even this, it's like we're getting light streaming through that window. Actually being kind of blinded by it. But if we look down here, it's like the light's coming from over there. We're getting these super long shadows. And although they're not particularly interesting in themselves, if we try and line some stuff up, you can start to get something that's a little bit aesthetic. And I love shooting stuff like that because it means nothing, right? But it's also not moving. And it means that I can work on that like compositional side of my brain. And that to me is wunderbar. I love it. I love flexing that. I love working that. And that to me, I think is such a key element of photography. This is interesting. So over here, we've got the sun. Over there, we've got skyscraper bouncing light back. And so that means that roughly in this spot where I'm standing right now, there is going to be a weird kind of, it's like a dual light source, which is so unnatural because when you think about it, in nature, we never used to have big glassy buildings, right? Everything used to be like, you may get reflections from like the water or something, but not from massive skyscrapers. Look, we've now got 2 buildings. And so what that means is it looks very unnatural, but then that really helps to carve out, oh bloody hell, look, we've got this as well. It's like, it helps to carve out our subject from the background because yeah, we've got 2 light sources. You're able to get a little edge light behind them. Is this really doing anything for me? I feel like the footfall isn't quite high enough and the light isn't quite doing what I want it to do. And so what I'm considering here is by going lower down and then change the perspective. I'm now looking up at people, and so I'm able to fill people in like this sort of open sky area. Actually, if you look at the people as they walk into about here, see how their faces go, ah! So that's probably where I want to try and be shooting people. But no one is looking particularly interesting right now.
Oh, ours reply. Huh? Ours reply.
Oh, look at this dog. Okay, cute dog coming along. So maybe if I go super low. Yep. I feel like there is enough footfall here, which is one of the challenges, because I mean, it's nearly 9 o'clock. It's nearly time for everyone to be at work. But just look at, this is one of the best things about street photography. It's having a reason to just be out and about fucking around. It's like, look at how beautiful and stunning that is. There's nothing better. Honestly, when people are like, oh, we've got nothing to photograph, get yourself up, early morning, go shoot some street photography. Oh, look at that sun bursting over the top there. That is stunning. Do I want the foreground element? I don't think so. I think it's beautiful enough as it is. I think that it only distracts the viewer from what I want them to look at, which is this interesting light over here. Yeah, definitely. Gang, I think we might have to hot step it over to, not that bridge, but the bridge on the other side of that. London Bridge. I mean, people always go, oh, that photo's been taken a million times. And it's like, yeah, but if it's beautiful, it's interesting, that just allows us to go out and explore and appreciate beauty. Because that is the best thing we can do in our days, is to go out and just have fun and look around and just go, that's cool, that's interesting, I like that. Because then the world becomes infinitely more beautiful, as opposed to just going, oh, I need to get to this meeting, I need to, what's Instagram saying, blah, 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 blah. It's like we are experiencing reality in 3D, which sounds so fucking woo-woo. And I appreciate that, and I understand that. But I believe it to be true. This device gives us a reason to, so I thought my camera stopped recording. This device gives us a reason to go out and appreciate the world, to see things for as they are, and then to try and capture it in such an interesting, beautiful way. And that is such a life hack. If more people did street photography, if more people went out with cameras and just try to find beauty everywhere, I guarantee people would be happier. Okay, that guy was just rubbing his eye and pulling his eye. That is funny. If you have someone maybe with like water in the background, it's like, and tearing up, that's interesting. That guy smoking a cigarette looked really cool. But this is a pièce de la résistance. Don't remember that's how you say that saying. But look at the atmosphere that's carving out the shard. That looks so beautiful, so aesthetic. I need to get to look at it for the next however long. That is class. And look at all these chickens. I hope that some of you get that reference. Otherwise, yeah, that's quite sad. So, right, at the moment, everyone is on that side of the street, and the sun is also on the far side. So this side, we're shooting into the light, we're shooting the bright side of people, or the brighter side of people, which to me isn't as nice as getting silhouettes and getting that whole aesthetic going. So I am going to, I'm messing around with that pylon, because that pylon is nice and contrasty compared to the shard and the people. So that looks kind of cool, but I don't think I'm wide enough. If I take a couple steps this way, I'm then able to get essentially a wider shot. And this is what people mean by move with your feet. And that pylon there, I've lined it up nicely to fit within the shard. So it looks nice and neat. The main focus is on this one, because there's more contrast between this and the background. Right, so now we need to play chicken with all these cyclists. Where do you reckon we should go? That could have been a gap. How about we go up here and take some photos of people to that. Zing! See, look, literally nobody cares, which is amazing. Okay, there's a gap. And there's a gap. And what is this guy carrying? See, this is the luck of the street gang. Alright. Don't know what the fuck this is. I think that was some sort of like insulation. Like, why the fuck is he carrying that? It's commuter time. It's the office workers. No one else is allowed to work during this time. Right, let's go through this gap. So something that I always like try and reflect on is like, it's gonna sound again woo-woo. No one is smiling. Not a single person is happy. Not a single person is appreciating beauty. And that's where I think we are unbelievably lucky that So I saw a girl vaping, and then there's this couple over here. Let's push in slightly. Is my lens dirty? My lens is dirty. Rookie mistake. Give that a quick clean. When people go, oh, you need to clean it with certain stuff. No, you don't. You just need a shirt. That's hopefully not scratchy. That'll do the job. I'm sure there's going to be some nerds in the comments losing their shit right now. But I'm out here taking photos. And I want my lens to be cleaner than it was. So that will do. Right. That's not particularly interesting. But right, okay, so when we're on this side now, see how it's like bright? And then if we come over to this side, we now have those edges of people. That to me, it's more aesthetic. But usually, if we walk up this way, I think we're been blocked. Okay, sometimes the sun bounces off buildings over here. Oop. Nearly bashed into him. And it creates like pockets of light over here, where we can then make subjects stand out. But I think we might have lost it. Damn, gang. And this is one of the best things about coming back to the same spot over and over again. Is you are able to, that's cool. It's like, you are able to understand what the light does, where you need to be at certain times of day, which then allows you to get those like, whoa moments. I think that's so underrated. It's so easy to be like, oh, I've shot this before. And it's like, cool, open your eyes. Try and see the world differently, because every single day is different, right? And to not appreciate that, I think is a sin. I think that you just have to increase your awareness, start noticing more things, and as you do that, you're then going to have a much richer experience of life, which is the upside of street photography. Okay, I'm trying to keep walking this way. So you see this building here, that blue one with glass. I'm hoping that that's going to be bouncing light back, but I'm not sure I'm finding the angle, which is slightly annoying, and also the footfall of people is massively reducing. So this used to be one of my favourite hunting grounds. Okay, there's two guys over here vaping. Maybe if there's a bit of atmosphere, so I'm walking with them but not pointing my camera at them. See if they will vape again, see what they are going to, because as soon as you point your camera at someone, then they instantly freeze up. Don't think it's happening. It's too cold. Oh, she was yawning. That was really nice. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is that most people are wearing dark clothes. And so if we see someone in a perhaps like all white outfit, that then stands out. That's contrast, that's difference. And then we can try and wait for that person to like do an interesting gesture. Maybe they like wipe their eye, maybe they pick their nose, maybe they do something. That then is interesting. That then is different, and that's what I think makes a good photo. Oh, okay, right. I often like to play. So you see down here, we've got light and we've got dark. So if we play in this shadow, often you can get cool silhouette-y type things with sun bursting through. Also like down here, so you see the barrier, there's a little patch of light here, which again creates separation. Oh, guy with the bike. That was slightly different. I mean, it wasn't particularly interesting, but it's like, this is what we've got to be thinking about. This is how we've got to be considering this scene. And just moved up a tiny bit so I can get more of this like light space, because I feel like that is where the best opportunity is going to be. And if you're wondering what I'm using to edit these photos, they are all in my presets. The Kodak 400 from the Infinite film project. And yeah, every single photo will be using that preset unless it's black and white, which I'm working on that preset as we speak. And yeah, I think it creates this beautiful, soft filmic tone. Okay, this guy is interesting. He had loads of like gold jewelry and stuff, and it's like, that's cool. Especially in this environment where everyone here, it's gonna sound harsh, is the same. They're all dressed pretty much the same. Whereas he had like gold jewelry and was like all blinged out. It's like, that's different, that's interesting. Whereas everyone here is in the very stereotypical corporate outfits. And so, right, okay, we have now got a guy in a white top coming in. And so I'm gonna drop this down, I'm gonna hope for the best. That was rubbish. That was so uninteresting. I mean, that's just part and parcel of street photography, is the amount of photos that you actually get that are any good are few and far between. And they're rarely when you expect them to be good, which is hilarious. And so when people go, oh, I only took 50 photos today because nothing was interesting, it's like, dude, firstly, you need to get interested in more things. Secondly, so there's a guy reading a book over there. Is that going to be interesting? I don't think people can read and walk at the same time. I think that's a myth. It's all performative. It's not even looking at the book. Yeah, so I think that you need to get better at. Actually, is this guy a famous rugby player? I think he might be. Could have been. I couldn't tell. Yeah, it's like you need to get interested in more things, and you also need to take more photos, because if you only take 50 photos in a day, Jesus Christ, none of them are going to be good. Whereas if you take 1,000, you're increasing your luck chance. Your luck chance? You're increasing your luck, right? Even if it's just serendipitous moments. Like, you see something that is potentially interesting. If you take one photo, chances are, like, it could be good. But if you take 25 different versions of the exact same photo, one of them is probably going to be better than the rest. And so we're trying to increase our chance at that. That is all we're doing by taking more photos. I don't think it's cheating. I think it's using the tools that we have available to create the best images that we can. Do I like it on this side?
Yeah.
Alright. If we wait here long enough, someone is going to come right here and is going to eyeball us. Ooh. I mean, often don't like reflections for the sake of reflections. A man doing reflections for the sake of reflections. And so what I mean by that is, like, why often people just go reflections because it's like a cool technique, but it's like, yeah, but how is that adding to your story? How is that useful? How is that developing stuff? And so what I'm trying to do now, or my thought process with why I'm trying to use reflection here, is like, if I'm able to make them look like they're almost like floating, and there's like a soft barrier, and it's a little bit harder to make out what is going on, it's like, that's kind of cool, because it makes you think about the image as opposed to just going, oh, it's symmetrical. That's what he says, but I don't think it's working. Okay, right. Let's go explore this way, because it's where city people are going. I think there's so many opportunities. Okay, this guy drinking. Is he gonna drink again? Come on, buddy, drink for me. Oh, my settings are off. And so I often find that, like, it's gonna sound weird, but it's like, sometimes if you think that someone is interesting in front of you, if you kind of do this, and you skim across them, they can then move to where you want them to in the frame. So at the moment, if they're here, it's like they're bright, and then the background is also bright. But then if you come here, then you're able to push them onto a dark bit of the background. And it's like, that's how we can influence the scene with our posture, essentially. I think that obviously I'm very lucky that I'm like 6'3", and so the idea of like when I move, often when I move to go where I want to go, people often move as well, in the way that I want them to. But that having been said, there are ferocious little people that I move out of the way for, so I don't think that it's just 6'3" upside. Is that interesting? Absolutely not. Sorry, dude.
That's your point.
Hang on. So there, she was looking. I mean, I probably missed the photo. Yeah, I did. But she was looking back over their shoulder, and it's like, that's interesting. And now we've got a girl who's kind of sat here like this. So let's think about how we can frame this, and also do it in a way that doesn't make it obvious that we're about to take a photo. Maybe if I drop down here. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna have to just look at the floor for a second. I mean, this looks actually really cool. Try and move my nose so you can see what the screen's seeing. It's like getting a bit of atmosphere. Seeing her, these people are very. If you look at the people who are here, it's like compared to the background, they are so much more contrasty, and so they really punch out, which is so valuable. And at this height, if you look, everyone is the same level within our frame, and so you can't really create any separation. But then if we drop down here, it's easier to see in photos. All of a sudden, it's like the people at the front then stand out. We can't see the people at the back, and they're way bigger in our frame because we've changed the perspective. And so that is one of the massive upsides of moving up and moving down, is you can change who you're able to see and who is like prominent within our frame. And so if we wait here for just a tiny bit, I want to see whether there's anyone in an interesting silhouette wearing perhaps a coat with an interesting shape. That I think is going to hopefully look cool. It's going to look interesting, and if there's a little gap behind them, so then there's no one standing behind, I think that will look unreal. And so this is the art of street photography, or I suppose the skill of street photography, right? Is being able to constantly think of like, okay, well, I found something that I like. What's an example of something that would add to this scene? And then almost like manifesting it, because it's going to sound ridiculous, but like we're not manifesting this thing to appear. But if we open our consciousness to, oh, I want to see someone with an interesting coat, then when someone with an interesting coat comes along, we are then able to, you're ready, right? Whereas I think if you're just like waiting and you're not really thinking, like this guy looks kind of cool. I like the perspective where we can't see his feet, but there's the shard in the background, and him compared to the shard looks kind of weird. It's kind of funky. It's not going to be a banger, but it's interesting enough. And so with this, it's like when we're thinking about the things that we want to see, we are more likely to see them. That's the art. That's the skill. Okay, there's this guy drinking. If we come in, then we're going to drop down in front of him. Oh, I think I might have missed focus. Let's have a little look. I missed top of the shot. Okay, let's see whether this is cool. Maybe, I don't know. You probably just look at the floor right now. But yeah, it's like, I think, oh, cool coat, very cool coat. She was walking away. If she was here in my frame, she would be even bigger in my frame and therefore would stand out more, because scale is a massive thing, right? If we are able to make something look huge in our frame, that shows that there's more importance, and therefore good. Okay, let's continue. I mean, even this looks kind of weird, kind of funky. Ooh, okay. If I go down here, see how there's light that's probably bouncing off the river and it's hitting the upside of that. That's interesting. But am I to, okay, someone's walking, 3, 2, 1. I think I mistimed it. Sick. Ooh, and this is one of the other benefits of fishing. Is that as people walk past this rail, the colour of their jackets bounces off it, which I think looks really cool.
Sorry.
It's alright, no worries. I mean, this looks so sick. But what is the story? What is something that's interesting about this scene? Maybe you need to go slightly further back. Because if I go further back, I'm then able to get everything to be smaller in frame. It's like crunch it in. I mean, I'm starting to lose the perspective that I wanted, but we're then gaining more of the scene, which is what I wanted. So it's like everything's a trade-off. And this is one of the downsides of fishing, is people see what you're up to, and then they go, oh, I don't want to get in the shot, so I'm going to move to the side. But it's like, no, I want you in the shot. And so, I hope you can see my camera. It's like, what I'm trying to do is down here, it's like a little patch of light. And I'm trying to get someone in that that's interesting. Oh, I liked how the light came along there off the bus as a reflection. It's like another layer of visual interest. Okay, now I wonder whether, is that even just this little patch here? Maybe if we get someone in the light like this guy's gonna do now. So is that cool? Come on, sir. Okay. Little hoodlum. So look how long that shadow is. That's quite interesting. So maybe if we wait for someone to try and go down the stairs, maybe we'll create a super long shadow. That might be interesting. There's too many people, so the shadows aren't clean, but there's one guy following. Now isn't that clean? And again.